Time now for business news with Madison Reedy. Maddie, Tower Insurance, it's reported its half-year result today. How's it going?
It's actually going pretty well. It's returned to profitability in this 6-month period. So its half-year net profit was $11.9 million. Now that compares with a loss in the same period last year of about the same amount of $11.6 million. But that was largely due to a one-off reinsurance settlement. What's boosted it this time around is better weather, actually. So there's been fewer severe weather incidents in both New Zealand and the Pacific where it does its business, and that's obviously meant that it's had to pay out less claims, so that's boosted its figures there. Also higher premiums. Now Tower was one of the first insurers to move to that risk-based pricing model that most insurers have done now. You are talking about IAG. They've obviously made that move in Wellington, which has had some controversial impacts there. So obviously our Tower is one of the insurers that is charging more for the likes of home insurance premiums in more environmentally risky areas, that being Wellington, coastal areas. Now, I asked the chief executive if he thought that that had meant that they'd lost some customers. He said that the impact actually hasn't been that big. They've lost about they've impacted about 3% of their customers who've had higher premiums. They've also seen a small but insignificant amount of customers moving to other insurers. Also, they took a bit of a stab at the Earthquake Commission. Now, this isn't new from Tower. The chairman, Michael Stiassny, has taken a stab at the EQC previously because the Earthquake Commission does pass on some of its higher cost claims to Tower to cover. They took another stab at them this time around, so they still have 132 outstanding claims for Canterbury quakes, but they closed 67 in the 6-month period. But they actually also received another 26 overcap claims, which are claims over $100,000 from EQC in the period too. So they're not too happy about continually receiving them. So they've had to provision more money, put more money aside to pay for those. They're expecting they'll cost about $64 million. But they did warn that the cost of these claims could deviate substantially. Now, the chief executive of Tower, Richard Harding, he says they're obviously fed up with this process with the EQC, and it's now planning to start chasing the Earthquake Commission to pay back the cost of covering some of these claims. Here's what he had to say.
The EQC continues to provide overcap claims, and the nature of those claims now has changed from being claims that as a result of customers experienced damage from earthquake to claims where the original work that's been done by the EQC is now needing remediation itself. So where the EQC and its repair partners have not actually filled their duty of care to provide an appropriate solution for the customer in the first instance. And where that triggers that property to go over cap, we're suggesting to the EQC that is their problem, not ours, and not our shareholders' problem.
So what are you going to do about it? You're going to pursue them?
Well, we obviously want to respect the fact that our customers need to get their problems resolved, so we will work with our customers and we will then seek to recover from the EQC the damages that have been paid.
That's the chief executive of Tower, Richard Harding, speaking to me earlier today off the back of their financial result. And he also expects their full-year net profit to exceed $26 million, which is a bit of an uplift in a forecast there.
Hey, so what else has been happening on the markets today?
The NZX Top 50 index closed down just slightly, 0.2%. That's a drop of 18 points to close at 10,216 tonight. Tower's share price rose 2.5%. That's a small rise of 2 cents to 80 cents a share. And the New Zealand dollar, that's buying at 65.1 US cents, 94.7 to the Australian, and same as last night, 51.2 for the British pence.
Thank you, Madison. Madison Reedy with our business news.